Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We will chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Evam pravartitam chakram.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
Karyam karma samachara.
Karyam karma samachara.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Paramapnoti purushaha.
Paramapnoti purushaha.
Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim.
Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim.
Asthita janakadayah.
Astita janakadayaha.
Lokasangrahamevapi.
Lokasangrahamevapi.
Sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Sampashyan kartumarhasi.
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last few sessions, we have been absorbing the deeper imports of verse number 16 in chapter 3 entitled Karma Yoga. That context is so important because every verse by itself has its own depth, but it also comes under a particular chapter. And the chapter sets a basic theme, or we can say a basic direction. So one is to have the individual depth, the other is it also contributes towards the overall theme of that particular chapter. And all the chapters put together have the common theme, which is the upliftment of the consciousness. So this is how the Bhagavad Gita has been structured. So purposefully, with a lot of deliberation, with a lot of depth and direction. So if you follow this flow, you will benefit to the maximum level. So first is the individual verse, the individual depth of that verse. After that comes its alignment to the chapter. That is the direction set or the theme set by the chapter. And then all these chapters, they flow into one another. Together, they are aimed towards the upliftment of your own consciousness. So in the yogic approach, that's exactly what we are doing. We go into the depth of each verse, the central message, then the sub-messages, the sadhana relevance, all that we see. But we also see it in the context of that particular chapter under which the verse is coming. It's not without a reason that they have grouped it like this. See, the whole Bhagavad Gita could have been given out just as one text, no, all the verses. That's not what Vyasa has done. He has grouped them so beautifully. So the line of thought is built and then it changes, it flows into another principle, it flows into the next principle, so beautifully structured. Actually, if you use the yogic approach and learn to follow the structure of the Bhagavad Gita, you can apply the same principle in your life also. So each verse is like one action of yours. So every action should be deep, like how we are going into the depth of the verse. And then those actions should all be connected towards a goal, which is set by the chapter here. I'm only drawing the parallels, how this principle can be applied in your life. And you will have various goals in different areas of your life. Now, all those should get streamlined towards the ultimate purpose, which is self-realization or God-realization. So if you approach life in a yogic way, thus, your life will be very meaningful from the worldly point of view also. You will be a great achiever, and it will also be very purposeful from a spiritual point of view. You will move towards the infinite. You will expand your consciousness more and more till it merges with the infinite consciousness. So, as far as this verse, that is verse number 16, is concerned, the central core principle here is that of chakram. The whole verse is built around that principle of chakram. So before we go to the next verse, I'll just give some subtle points pertaining to this verse, and then we will move on to the next verse because it's so important. So the core message or the center or the nucleus of this verse, verse number 16, is that principle of chakram. So we have been seeing that for so many weeks. So what is the simple message? What is this principle of chakram? I'm directly now giving you the application from a spiritual point of view. Each and every action of yours, whether it is a physical action or whether it is your speech, what you're speaking, or whether it is an emotion which you are generating, or whether it is a thought which you're generating, whatever be it, each and every action of yours is not an individual unit by itself. It is a part of a circle. So every time you are perceiving something with your jnana indriyas, that is organs of perception, or you are acting with your karma indriyas, the organs of action, or you are feeling an emotion, you're saying something, some words with your mouth, you're feeling some emotion, you're thinking some thought, whatever it is that you're doing, you are setting a circle in motion. This is so important for you to understand. If only an action starts and ends there, there is no chakram, then there is no necessity for this wisdom, no necessity for sadhana, because no karmic cycle will be created. You do some action and then that's it, everything ends there. But that is not how life is designed. So whenever you do positive actions, here when I say actions, remember perceptions, actions, speech, emotions, thoughts, everything put together we are calling as action. So whenever you perform any action, it doesn't end there. You may think it has ended, but no. You have just started a cycle, and that will come back to you. The consequences will come back to you. It will travel all the way along the circumference of the circle and then come back to wherever you are. That may happen within a few hours, it may happen within a few days, few months, few years, few births also. That's what is called as a karmic cycle. Sometimes whatever you did many births back can come to haunt you now. That is going deeper into this principle of chakra. But first you need to understand this principle through simple examples. How is it that you get into a habit, negative habit or a positive habit? You just start doing sadhana. One day you do, now that's so enjoyable, then that helps you throughout the day. It's like a circle, so next day you come back with more inspiration. That helps you to get some balance. Then you go and act in the world. Again you come back. It forms a beautiful cycle. But suddenly one day, for some reason, you choose to break this circle. You say, I'll leave it one day only, and you sleep it off, or for some reason you stop the sadhana cycle. Now what happens? That sets another circle in motion. It will not stop with one day. That will increase your tamas in you. Another tamas will again force you to skip further. Before you know, several weeks, several months will go and you would have moved away from the beautiful sadhana chakram which you had built, and you would have got disconnected from the Guru Shakti. That's why they say you have to be very careful. These are very simple examples which are being given to you. So now you should start observing this in your life. How life keeps going like a circle. So there are large circles and then there are smaller circles within it, like concentric circles we can say. Whether it is at the financial level or physical level or with respect to relationships, whatever it is, circles keep repeating themselves. It is just the motion of the circle which you are seeing it as a repetition. But one very important point here is, even though the repetition is happening, when you come back to the same point again, the intensity would have increased. Let us say, supposing you are harsh to someone and that person gets very upset. That person is also harsh to you. Now, by the time the cycle finishes and comes back to you, now the intensity of your next karma will be 10 times more than how it was initially. And when you are harsh to that person, the amount of affectation which it will create on the other person will be 10 times more. I'm just saying 10 times more. It can even be 100 times more. It all depends upon how fast and how intense the circle is. That is how intense the movement of that circle is. So, the karmic cycle, when it goes and comes back, the intensity increases. Again, it goes, comes back, the intensity further increases. And before you know, you would have gathered a lot of energy, the negative energy, which is what he called as agham, aghayuhu. Whole life is flooded with the negative energy. So, as a sadhak, you need to understand this, because the moment you understand this, initially it will shake you because you will become unsure. So, you will become afraid to say anything or do anything. My God, what cycle is it going to start? Which circle will get, will get activated? All these confusions will be there. I would say that as a positive sign only. As one thinker said, confusion is the first sign of wisdom. If you say, I have understood everything, you've actually not understood. When you learn these principles, you will become a little unsure about your decisions, what to do, what not to do. That's okay. You will have to go through that phase. But when you keep doing your sadhana on a daily basis, and as you keep exposing yourself to these higher truths, the yogic approach, slowly, that clarity will start coming. Once the clarity starts setting in, you will not be afraid about acting or anything, because as I told you earlier, the cycle can be negative or positive. Direction can be forward or reverse. So, you will know exactly how to use this principle of chakram in your life to keep on progressing. Just as when you learned to ride a bicycle, or when you learned to drive a car, initially you found it very confusing. See, a person who's learning to ride a bicycle for the first time, you see that person will not be able to balance at all. Either that person will sway to the left or to the right. It will be highly confusing. And even when a person learns to drive a car, I'm talking of a manual car, that is not an automated car, but the manual car. The clutch is there, the gear is there. So, what to do? And when when some real issue comes, instead of pressing the brake, suddenly a person will press the accelerator. That's why the instructors who teach in a car driving institute, they will always have a control there, and their end also, the brake control. In case the learner makes a mistake, they'll apply the brake to ensure that some accident or something doesn't happen. So initially it's so confusing. You have to get the steering control, you have to look at the mirror. It looks like there are so many things to do. Is it really possible? Definitely possible. Once you keep putting in the right kind of effort, after a while, the same car driving becomes So simple. It becomes automatic for you. Same cycle is there. You're able to ride on it so easily. The balance, everything comes so effortlessly. So similarly, when you practice all these principles, it will not be easy right from beginning. It will cause a lot of confusion. Why I'm mentioning this is, one sadhak has sent a mail. Now, what she's saying is that, sir, as I'm learning these principles, now when I look around at my own family members and my friends and all that, they all seem to be so sure about whatever they're doing, whereas I seem to be a little unsure. Why is that? As a sadhak, when I do my sadhana, I should become more clear than them, right? That is because they are in a state of ignorance. You are in the process of gaining this wisdom. When you get established in the wisdom, then that clarity, the surety which will come from that clarity will be true light, we can say. That's why in the Zen philosophy, a Zen master said, before you get enlightened, that is, when you are not in the path of spirituality, trees will be like trees, hills will be like hills. Now, when you get into this path, trees will look like hills and hills will look like trees. It's a confusion because a lot of things are changing. But then what he says is that when you get enlightened, again trees will look like trees, hills will look like hills. Now your question will be, sir, then why go through this process of getting enlightened? Anyway, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. This is with full awareness, full clarity. That is out of ignorance. Sometimes they say, no, ignorance is bliss. There is a pit in front of you. You don't know there is a pit. So you are happily walking. Anytime you can fall. That kind of a confidence and happiness is different. But once a person knows there is a pit and he knows exactly how to circumvent it, that confidence is different. So self-confidence is not merely psyching yourself up and all that. It should come from true wisdom. So, this is a very powerful principle. Everything which you say, everything which you do, every feeling, every thought, that's going to set some chakra in motion. And if you really think about it, how many thoughts do you have in a day? The yogis say minimum of 60,000 thoughts. How many emotions do you have in a day? How many actions do you perform? If you start counting just in one day, that itself will become uncountable. Then when we talk of every day, for last 10 years, what all you have done, every little thing which you've seen, every little thing which you've heard, every little thing, which you perceived, whatever you have said, like that, if you go into the minute details, you will find that there are infinite things which you have done and which you are doing, and each of this is activating one chakra, one cycle. So there are infinite loops, infinite cycles, and you are caught up in that. This is what they called as the samsaric cycle. Samsara chakra, they said. Infinite loops. In the Bhajagovindam, Adi Shankara, he gives this principle of chakra in a beautiful way. He applies it to the birth and death cycle. Again birth, again death, again lying in the mother's womb. This is how he describes that. Punarapi jananam means again birth. Punarapi maranam, again death. Punarapi janani jatare shayanam, again lying in the mother's womb. This is a powerful cycle, he says. Iha samsare bahudustare. The samsara chakra it's very difficult to overcome. Bahu means so difficult. As long as you're caught up in a cycle, it is difficult. But then, he says, with the grace of Murari. Murari means another name of Lord Vishnu, who represents the infinite. With the grace of the higher, you can easily cross over this. Kripaya pare pahi murari. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. With the grace of the higher, with the grace of the Guru Shakti, with the grace of the divine Shakti, it is possible to cross over. It's a very powerful message, powerful verse. So remember one thing, when you are caught up in a cycle, it will look as if it's impossible to come out. See, some people ask me, when we are facing some issues, or why is it that we feel that issue is the greatest issue in this whole universe? Isn't that true? If I were to ask each and every one of you, okay, what is your problem? What is your problem? You will tell your problem, and deep within you, you feel that this is the greatest problem in the world. You are not wrong in feeling that. Why is it that you're feeling that? Because your problem has been created by not just one action, but a huge cycle, a lot of cycles, we can say, concentric circles. And you are somewhere in the middle caught up. So you're feeling the difficulty to come out of any issue because you are caught up not with one karma, but you are caught up in a karmic cycle. If it is one karma, very easy. So this is the proof that the principle of chakram is working in your life. Whenever you face any issue that seems to go on and on endlessly, it just seems to be taking you deeper and deeper into that issue, and it looks like, oh, there is no solution. Is there a solution? That is the mood, or that is what he means by saying iha samsare bahudustare. That when we see that cycle, infinite cycles, my God, this is so difficult to cross over. But with the grace of the higher there means through the grace of the higher, you gain the higher wisdom, do the sadhana, all that is included. So when you do all that, it becomes easy to come out of this infinite loop. So you have been creating infinite cycles, not merely in this birth, birth after birth, millions of births, not merely in this dimensional existence, in different dimensional existences. As you advance further and further in the yogic path, at an advanced stage when you meditate, it's not only merely the past births of this dimensional existence, but you know, all the different dimensional existence which you have gone through earlier will all come before you. Today, if all that is shown to you and you see all that, you will not be able to take it. Just the memory of what you did yesterday is enough to disturb your peace of mind. Or just the memory of what you did last week. That itself is bothering you so much. Then imagine if all past birth memories come and then different dimensional existence, you'll collapse completely. That is why nature has been designed in such a way that you forget things. Forget means what? When you do meditation, you'll have to bring it out. It's all there within. In later in the chapter where he identifies with the best, he says, among Daityas I am Prahalada. Like that he goes on. Among the mountains I am Himalayas. He says, I am forgetfulness in human beings. Why does he identify and say I am forgetfulness among human beings? Because it is that forgetfulness which is making you survive. If you remember each and every detail, now you literally go crazy. Imagine, even just for one full week, what all you did. You, every little movement of yours, just physical movements. You turned this side, you turned that side, you looked up, like that. If you remember merely the physical movements, you will go crazy after that. Then not to talk about so many other things. Just 1 week or a few days. So he says, I am forgetfulness. But forgetfulness is not the solution. It just helps you to survive. It helps you to get along, move on, keep moving on. But the real solution is in doing sadhana. So you have created these infinite cycles and you're completely enmeshed in that. And you see no way out. But what these great masters are saying is, if you can get into all these cycles, if you've created all these cycles, then there should be one karmic cycle which can offset all these cycles which you have created. What is that cycle? That is the yajna chakra or sadhana chakra. Sadhana is based on the principle of yajna only. So we can, this context, use it synonymously. The problem is, as I told you, if it is one karma, it's different. But it's a karmic cycle. When you get caught up in one cycle itself, you find it difficult. Now, infinite loops have been created, birth after birth. Absolutely no awareness, no higher consciousness. That is what has created all these loops, which technically they call as ignorance. Avidya, they say. But then, the yajna chakra, which is the center of the sadhana chakra, that has the power to offset all the infinite chakras which you have set in motion, the negative chakras. So one by one, if you were to take each chakra and try to get out of it, it is an impossible exercise. Because one karma you exhaust, you will create 100 karmas. Just because of your mental reactions to situations, you're constantly creating these karmic cycles. How do you get out of this? What is the way out? This question will bother every sadhak. So when you look at it from within the cycle, it will look infinite, it will look impossible. But when you look at it from outside, you can see it is possible. It is like, when you're caught up in a maze, you will see no way out. Anywhere you go, you come back to the same point. Now, how do I go out? But for a person who's having an aerial view, he'll know exactly. You just have to take that route, you can go out. Actually, that is very simple. But practically, because of the weight of the karmic cycles, the speed of the karmic cycles which have been created by you, you find it so difficult. So he is giving so much of importance to this yajna chakram. As far as you're concerned, the sadhana chakra. Why has he given so much of importance? Because that is one wheel when you set in motion which has the power to dissolve all the other negative chakras which you have created. Let it be for millions and millions of births. It does not matter. The fire of sadhana can burn up all the karmas. When we say all the karmic burning, we mean the burning up of all the karmic cycles. Not merely one karma, two karma, not individual karmas. The entire cause and effect cycle. Once a student went to his master and asked him, "Sir, for so many years I have been, doing the seva. Whatever you asked me to do, I have done. But you're not really giving me the higher empowerment, Please give me the highest empowerment." Now, the master said, no, you're not yet ready. But the student was unwilling to accept. "No, sir, please give me the highest thing." To which the master said, "Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just open up a little bit of your inner vision, the third eye. Now, you go into deep meditation. You'll automatically go once you close your eyes. I'll take you deep. I'll take you up to that karmic level. You yourself see, because those karmas are only preventing you from getting the highest empowerment, right? So you just see that and come back. We will dissolve all that quickly." So the student became so excited. He said, "Yes, sir, please, And the master used his yogic powers. A little bit of the jnana chakshu, the inner eye, was opened for the student. Student went into deep meditation. Now, when he went right up to the level where he could see his own karmas, he was stunned because he found such huge heaps of dirt. The size of those heaps were like mountains, He couldn't see where it was beginning, where it was ending. It was all so confusing for him. And not just one heap. endless heaps. Even thousands is a finite number. You could see infinite mountainous heaps of karmas. So when he looked at all that, my God, these are my karmas. He lost all his confidence. And the Guru brought his consciousness back. And he opened his eyes and he started crying. He said, Sir, so much is there. When am I going to really burn up all this? How is this possible? I understand the foolishness of my request. Please give me the highest initiation now. That I will not ask. But now what I am asking is it ever possible to come out of this? Because one by one, when I start cleaning, when is this going to end? And as I am cleaning, I am also creating more and more heaps of karmas through my own actions, emotions and thoughts. He said, you should only help me. To which the great master told him, listen, if you start cleaning them one by one, these heaps of dust and dirt which you have acquired, as you rightly said, it's going to be a never-ending process. You will get tired, you will get fed up within a short while, you leave everything. But there is one other way of doing this. Instead of cleaning it slowly, one by one, he said, if you take a matchstick, if you set the heaps of dirt on fire and just patiently wait, the fire will keep on gathering momentum. It will burn up all the heaps. You'll have to wait patiently till that happens. Do you think that in that method it is possible? To which the student said, yes. If only I can get that fire with which I can burn up all the dirt, that will give me confidence. The Guru said, why am I giving you all these sadhanas? It is to create that fire within you. The very word tapas, tapaha means heat. It's very symbolic. It is with that inner fire which is created by the sadhana chakra based on the yajna chakra, It is that inner fire which is created which can burn up all the karmas. Let it be heaps and heaps of karmas, millions and millions of births, all those things do not matter. So in every empowerment course, incidentally, yesterday this year's Yoga Sankirtan empowerment just got completed, Several heaps of karmas were burnt because that fire is lent to you by the master in an empowerment course. This is the most practical way. So, he has introduced this principle of chakram, the main focus, or I would say the only focus on yajna chakram, which is the basis of sadhana, because that is the way. Once you activate the sadhana chakra, nothing is impossible for you. Let your past be anything. Yeah, sir, so many, like that student, disciple said, heaps and heaps of dust is there in my karmic body, losing all my confidence. When you light it with the fire of your own sadhana, now those heaps can be burnt up. Those heaps of karmas which are overwhelming you will start losing their power, these karmic cycles. That is why I keep telling you, you should do your sadhana. See, we have simplified it for you. daily sadhana. The yoga sankirtan is there, and then the empowerment meditation materials also you keep alternating and doing. Then weekly sadhana, attend these sessions. If you want to keep giving reasons why you missed or why you attended, okay, keep giving reasons. Who is the loser? Some people say, sir, I'm very sorry I missed the last Sunday sessions. You don't need to be sorry to me, you have to be sorry to yourself. Who has missed the benefit? It is you only. I actually feel sorry for you when you say that I have missed my sadhana, I have missed the Sunday session, the last few months I have been irregular. Some people say, I feel sorry for you. Instead, you are saying, I am sorry. Take the corrective action. So, the daily sadhana, the weekly sadhana, and then whenever you get that great opportunity of receiving the empowerments, don't miss that. Just grab them. Because in the empowerment courses, this fire is lent by the masters. All the energy of all the great yogis, siddhas is invoked. So that fire is temporarily lent to the sadhak. Then you can imagine the speeding up process, how powerful it will be. So this is the yajna chakra, the sadhana chakra, which has to be activated by you and you alone. You have to take that first step. The guru will make things very conducive for you to activate the sadhana chakra. But who has to activate it? You have to activate it in your life. So if you fail to do that, one who does not follow the revolving wheel thus set here, sinful, delighting in the senses, he lives in vain, O Partha. So this verse looks like a negative verse, but it's a very positive verse because he is taking your focus to that chakra, especially the sadhana chakra, which is the real solution, the only solution. Is it clear? So this is the power of the sadhana chakra. If you don't follow it, you will face all these issues. Now, when you start following the sadhana chakra, what will happen to you? We will see that from the next verse number 17. Yastvat maratireva syad
यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात्
atmatriptascha manavah
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
atmanyeva cha santushtah
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
tasya karyam na vidyate
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
yastvatma ratireva. Yah tu atma rati eva. I'm just splitting it up. Tu means but. But yah, whoever it is, atma ratihi eva. Syat means one who is in a state of atmaratihi, means one who delights in the self alone. Eva means undi. So till now, in the previous verse, he was talking about one who does not follow the wheel. Now, one who follows the wheel, what happens? He's taking to the extreme point he is mentioning about the enlightened being, but it's applicable at the relative level also. But tu means a change of thought. One who delights in the self alone, Atma Ratihi. And then Atma Triptascha Manavaha. That Manavaha, that person, that human being, I'm deliberately saying human being because it's very significant here. It's only a human being who has the capacity to do sadhana and merge with the infinite. That's why he's saying Manavaha. That person, one is Atma Ratihi, then he says Atma Triptaha. He is satisfied by the self. Triptaha means so satisfied. And then Atman Yevacha Santushtaha. Atmani Eva cha Santushtaha. That's how the word splits. I'm saying in the Sanskritam language. Means Santushtaha means content, extremely content. Tushtaha itself means content. Now he is saying Santushtaha. So extremely content only in the self. Eva. Atmani eva cha Santushtaha. For that person, he says, Karyam na vidyate. There is nothing which ought to be done. I'm only translating the verse now. We'll be getting into the depth of it. But one who delights in the self alone and is satisfied by the self, extremely content only in the self, for that person, there is nothing which ought to be done. Means he has gone beyond everything. He has merged with the infinite. It's a very powerful verse. This verse can simply inspire you. It can push you into doing sadhana. It can give you so much of strength, power. It can give you so much of happiness. It can put you on the path. Even if you don't understand the deeper meaning, just simply if you see the mere translation, that itself can inspire you. One who delights in the self alone, Atma Ratihi, satisfied by the self, Atma Triptaha, and then extremely content in the self alone, Atmani eva Santushtaha. For him, there is nothing which ought to be done. Him, her, there is no meaning of gender and all here. As long as you are a human being. That's why that word Manavaha is so important. So, first of all, he says Yah tu. Tu means but. That is so significant because the word but here, what does it signify? It signifies the change of thought flow. So the moment you see that the word but, you should immediately become very alert. Psychologically, you should become extremely alert mentally. Why? Because all along he has been giving you a chain, a sequence, a chain. Now he is going to change the thought flow. So, from a yogic point of view, when as a true sadhak, the moment you see that word tu, you will become 10 times more alert. That doesn't mean you should have been sleeping in the previous verse. But sometimes what happens is you're going in a particular flow, you got used to it, you're quite comfortable. Now, tu means but. You come out of that comfort zone. It's a very a deep principle, yogic principle. That is, you should always strive to come out of your comfort zones in life. If you are not willing to come out of your comfort zone, you can never grow. It's like this, you're driving a car, you're just going straight. Nowadays, it's automatic cars. So, on a highway, that too, sometimes you can set the speed, everything, and just relax. It'll just keep on going. So, there's a chance that you may fall off to sleep. Supposing as you are driving, suddenly you will have to turn right or left, whatever direction. You have to change the direction. Then you will become alert. It's the same thing. He has been moving in a particular direction. He has been giving a particular flow. Now he is going to change that flow. So what was he giving earlier? The consequences of not following the yajna chakra, the sadhana chakra. But now he is going to change that thought flow. So as a sadhak who is absorbing, who is following this yogic approach, you should immediately bring that alertness. It is easy to pass all these verses, quickly study them and go away. But that is not our aim. Our aim is to build that alertness, awareness to the maximum extent and absorb everything which is possible to absorb from each and every verse. It is not how much you have covered that matters, how much you have read and all that. It is how much have you absorbed. It is alertness alone which can help you absorb the positive principles, the higher principles. When you don't have that alertness, you may be in touch with the master. But mentally, if you are not alert, the change will be very slow. We can actually put this as a law. To the extent you have that mental alertness, to that extent you will grow. If you have 10% alertness, the growth can happen to 10%. So that's why when you are interacting with a master, he will keep on throwing more and more challenges at you. The moment he sees that you are settling down in a particular zone and you're getting too comfortable with it, you're not willing to put in that extra effort, he will throw a challenge at you. He'll make you very uncomfortable. He may sometimes use harsh words. He may sometimes do or say something which is very unconventional, which you may never expect. See, that is this prerogative. He may use any method. But the idea is to make you come out of your comfort zone. So generally, if you look at it from the highest standpoint, you are in a comfort zone with respect to your higher self. Most people, they are just happy. This is happy in a tamasic way. This is what he meant by indriyaramaha. You have settled down in your comfort zones in life. I'm eating, I'm sleeping, I'm, making merry, doing a few things here and there. I've gone to school, I got educated, I'm going to office every day, I'm coming back or doing my business, whatever. These are all the things which I'm doing, and you settle down in that comfort zone. And when you are completely caught up in that comfort zone, the higher mumukshatva doesn't come. Mumukshatva means the desire to liberate oneself, the desire to merge with the infinite. That doesn't come. you are in a state of spiritual ignorance. This was so beautifully captured in the previous verse where he said, Indriyaramaha. You are in your comfort zone. Now, just by using the word tu, he is giving the energy of alertness. He is activating the energy of alertness in us. But if you are reading this in a mechanical way, you will not receive that energy. That is why I told you, in the yogic approach, we are not really seeing the meaning of the verses and all that. That it's not restricted to that. We are activating the energy of these principles. We are using these verses, these great, these sublime truths to activate the energies, the higher energies within us. That is so important. So it looks like a very innocuous word too. But, sir, what is a big deal? It has a lot of significance. So you just read it in continuation with the previous verse. I'll read it for you. One who does not follow the revolving wheel thus set here, sinful, delighting in the senses, he lives in vain, O Partha. But, you have to pause there. But. Can you feel the change of flow, that energy? So, but now what is he going to say? One who delights in the self alone, one who is satisfied by the self, extremely content only in the self, Atman. For that person, there is nothing which ought to be done. He has reached the highest, he has reached the infinite consciousness. If you miss that energy of alertness in that word but, and then when you read it, it will just be like any other verse. So, our yogis were such geniuses that by introducing such simple words like but and all that, they are actually able to create a kind of an energy flow which is conducive for a sadhak to progress. And there is one more interesting thing. See, in the previous verse, what did he say? If you don't follow the wheel thus set, then these will be the consequences, all that we saw. So, what is the logical way? When you're going to talk about the opposite of that, the logical way you would go about is, if you follow the wheel, the yajna chakra, these will be the good effects. That is how it should have been constructed, no? But he doesn't do that. He is not saying if you follow, one who follows, all that. He straight away gets into the positive consequences. Not only does he straight away get into the positive consequences, he takes the extreme, 100%. If you follow, what will happen to you? What is that state of enlightenment? Straight away he goes there. It is so significant because this is another method which the masters employ. That is, see, when it comes to the positive, he doesn't want to waste any time by saying, if you follow this, if you do sadhana, this, that, no, let's not waste time, he says. Straight. But just by saying but, he has shifted the energy, he has shifted the focus, he has shifted the thought flow. Now, why should he keep talking about if you do that and all? Straight get into the positive effects, and that too the 100% positive effects. So when something is applicable at the 100% level, it will also apply at the lower levels also. Sir, he is talking about realized soul. What is his relevance to me in my life? It is relevant. 10%, 20%. At every level, this verse is applicable. So when something is applicable at the 100% level, it doesn't mean only at that level. It means right up to that 100% level. He has stretched the positive effects to the infinite limits, to the maximum limit, and he is straight away giving it to you. This is how a master functions. When a master sees that the student is ready, there is no wasting of time. It is only when the student is not ready, we can't say it is a waste of time, but a roundabout method has to be adopted. So, when it comes to the negative consequences, he is taking a little time to explain, but when it comes to the positive consequences, by directly entering into that too at the 100% level, that demonstrates the amount of unconditional love which these great masters have for us, and not only that, the amount of respect which these masters have for the students. If you are ready, no wastage of your time. See, in life, you should learn to respect time, your time and others' time also. When someone wants to meet me, they say, I have this problem. I say, you first send a mail. Explain whatever your problem is. Put it down in points. Whatever you want to explain, explain. Why? For two reasons. One is your clarity will increase. The second thing is it saves a lot of time for me also. So after that, supposing let's say I give that person some time, and what will take, let us say, 5 hours to discuss can be finished within half an hour. Oh, this point, this is a solution, this point, it's a solution oriented approach. So the mind which is caught up with the problems will not want to apply this principle. See, we are taking these principles and I am giving you some practical tips how to apply it in your life. So from this moment onward, start valuing time, value your time and the time of others also. Because they say, no, time is so precious. Why? You know why time is so precious? Every moment of time which has gone will never come back. It is a fresh day, fresh moment. That's why the Kala chakra which keeps moving, it always keeps moving forward. Yesterday which has gone away from your life has gone forever. It can never come back. It may be there in your memory, but that is there only now. Even that is in the present moment. So time is so precious. Learn to value that. We can see that approach here. When it comes to the negative consequences, he was explaining. But when it comes to the positive consequences, he's directly plunging into the truths. A yogi has a lot of value for time. So we will practicalize it further. So value for time means what? What does it mean? In your day, fix a proper schedule. early morning time, let it be for the sadhana, do some yogic kriyas. Throughout the day, you do your karma yoga, whatever your duties are, your work and all that. Evening time, let it be for family. You have to divide it. Similarly, you learn to, keep your commitments. Honor your commitments which you give to others. If somebody else gives you a time, let us meet at this time. Now, be punctual there. Even to yourself, see, you're watching these sessions. Fix the time and watch that. Time itself has already been fixed. Every Sunday, 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So, those who are in India, what is the necessity for you to see it at some other time? This is the best possible time. Supposing it was not online, it was in an auditorium, you would have been forced to attend, no? But just because it's available online, you take it casually. Why 7? I'll see it 8. I'll see it tomorrow. Now, if you give that kind of energy, now nature will also see, why give him or her realization now itself? We'll see tomorrow. That is what you'll get back, because I told you, every karma is not one karma, but a karmic cycle which you are generating. So, self-discipline, having a schedule and functioning, these are all a part of one's sadhana practices. Why? To create powerful cycles for yourself, which will help you to grow. So, no need to be disciplined for another person's sake, for your own benefit. When it comes to any issue in life, be solution oriented. Focus on the solutions. Dwell on the problem only to that extent where it is required. More than that, if your mind keeps on thinking about it, tell yourself, enough, stop. See, learn to handle your mind. Today, you're not talking to your mind. The mind is dictating terms to you. Through practice, if you say stop, your mind has to stop. Some issue you're facing, mind is just thinking about it. When you're all alone, it again goes towards that. When you're doing some work, the mind keeps on dwelling on that issue. What is the point? So a yogi gets that ability. He looks at the problem, what is the solution? Thereafter, he only focuses on the solution. The mind does not go on the problem after that. That's why he is a free person. You should also become like that. So don't waste your time beyond whatever is required in analyzing a problem. There is no end to that. You're so caught up with the problem that you like to talk about it. Anybody who comes and asks you, immediately you're ready to offload your entire sorrowful story. So, you know what happened 7 years back, you know what happened 25 years back, that person did this. All this is going on. You love that. You've fallen in love with your own problems. Now, become solution oriented. Let all your energies be focused and invested in the positives. That is a choice which you need to make. It is a powerful cycle which you will be starting. So, even before getting into the verse, just by looking at it, having an overview, that gives us so many tips for us to practice. His approach itself is amazing. Okay, so we'll stop with that here. As a small homework, what you do is that find some time this week and just in a relaxed way read the translation. One who delights in the self alone, satisfied by the self, extremely content only in the self. Those three parts, Atmaratihi, Atmatriptaha, Atmani eva santushtaha. No need to analyze. Oh, what is he meaning? Is he meaning that? That's what we're going to do in the next few sessions. You just read the translation and just absorb that energy. Don't think about whether I have understood it correctly or is it wrong or what I understood, what does it mean. No analysis. Simply just feel it. So, one who delights in the Atman alone, the self alone, one who is satisfied by the self, who is extremely content only in the self. Now, there's a specific reason why I'm asking you to do this and come back. Because, see, whom is he talking about here? He's not talking about some realized soul. He's talking about you. When you reach the 100%, this is how you will be. See that possibility first you should start seeing, no? Otherwise you're only talking about some great saints, some yogis, oh that yogi was like this yogi was like, okay, what about you? You should first start absorbing this energy. So do that homework. Take some time out and do that. Along with your daily sadhana. You do your daily sadhana, but this small homework you do and come back next week. And before you do this, before you read the translation, just for a few seconds, close your eyes, invoke the Guru Shakti, and then do it. You will find a lot of healing happening. That is required if you want to absorb the full energy of this verse. This verse is actually very powerful because he's talking about an enlightened being, the state of being a Mahayogi. So you need to get prepared for that. So I spent some time with the word tu, and then I had given you the how he's solution oriented, that approach, and I'm asking you to do this homework. All this will help in getting prepared. And then of course we are going to go into the details. We are going to see what this verse is all about. Very, very inspiring. And then the next verse, it'll be taking you into a tremendous journey. It's another cycle after cycle is creating. Okay, so now we'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper within myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these various emotions and thoughts, lies my real self, the infinite supreme reality. From this moment onwards, I choose to activate the sadhana chakra. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So today was a very powerful and deep session. The principle of chakra was given to you with more depth. I'm so happy for all of you because as soon as we have finished the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment for this year, immediately we have started this verse number 17, where he's talking about the highest state of perfection. We'd never planned it this way. It is just your good karmas that the flow has been created in this way. It has been structured by the higher Shakti. We are not sitting and planning, oh, before empowerment, after empowerment, nothing like that. But you are getting the best structure, best sequence possible. So do that homework which was given to you this week and come back fresh with more energy to receive. Okay? So I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Hari Om.